Yeah. Uh, I forgot a couple of things today. First, going to talk about my updates to my Akka for the Nintendo Switch. I released a video before how my game crashes every time I save when I'm given the wooden elephant to Tala and Sakari. Um, well, start over and went back to the point, and apparently it actually resolved the issue. So I have to say maybe it's something in the game that corrupted something within this game saves. And whatever it is really, really interesting because it still saved fine up until that point when I give the elephant toy to Talon Sakari. That's when the game crashes every time it saves. Like whether I select save in the menu, go into a house or a building, or switch islands, the game crashes. And so it may be that that point is here. But apparently, so good news, bad news. The good news is that, well, it's together here. Starting over from the game saves, apparently fixes the bug. Bad news is you have to sacrifice your progress to get the bugs back here. So apparently, yeah, I mean, it doesn't crash anymore. I was able to save the 10 ghosts here and complete the main objective games here. And plus there's a, and but overall the review on Akka is it's great for a day or so, but then it gets old pretty quickly as after completing of the side quests, we're removing the ruins, the dead trees, the traps, and like that, and feeding the dragon, and a couple of other side quests to do. It's basically just, it's kind of like a Bit Orchard, where you crop. You don't have the currency like you do, but even that and the currency in Bit Orchard, it builds on up, and like, yeah, you can have like hundreds of thousands becoming a millionaire in that game, and yeah, that's basically completed the game at that point. But if you played that game before, it's pretty a couple of hours, and you're done. You have to do some gardening. You probably need to have a couple of vegetables, wheat, like that to create the quests here. Yeah. But otherwise, I mean, it's just playing the games and like that. It's really is like Bit Orchard. I think the game is, I think it's worth to me like $4 or $5. You'll get the quest here, 5 or 6. It's a little more than Bit Orchard here, but it's very little farming, and you're just controlling a red panda sitting around on the lily pond or like that. It's just what you're doing. It's good for maybe a short burst and like this, but then you just want to play something else here. That's Akka for the Nintendo Switch. But yeah, that's my latest situation. I had to restart. Yes, it had fixed the issue I had, but on the other hand, you have to sacrifice you have to start over from scratch to fix the bug here. I have to say, very good chance that there will be DLC. It's DLC for the game, more islands to explore, or maybe even a continent to explore in the game. That's what they could do from there. Wonder what Naiad's going to look like. You're a mermaid flowing through a river like that here. So I want to show that all about here. Second topic today is, going back to the Switch. Yeah, Akka runs like molasses on Nintendo Switch. And comparison to the GPD-Win 3 I have here, like via Steam, it's a night and day difference. I mean, the GPD-Win 3, very little loading time, and the game just runs buttery smooth. So yeah, it just tells me the Switch is just a 6. We're talking 7, 8-year-old technology in the Switch. That's why the big games are being, the games are like molasses when the Switch is even sub PS4, Xbox One, and you can only do so much. And to say, well, there's not much you can do on today's technology that makes a Switch out of the day yet. But Nintendo, they really need to develop a new console. I mean, much better. We need backwards compatibility and like this. Now we're talking about going back to the days here of Dreamcast games. There are some people running for Dreamcast. A couple of games I want is Evolution. Evolution, like a definitive Evolution World remastered. Take Evolution World from GameCube, add back the dungeons, and then the linear function that you can also download to your smartphone and play if you wish here, and play some mini games on the smartphones like whatever it is here. Or you could do I forget what it was, but do like a screen on screen of the functionality of things here, and also keep all the English dialogue, voice acting dialogue on the GameCube, but bring back all the stuff that was cut from the GameCube version, because the reason why it was cut is because of the constraints that we have on the disc here. It used many DVDs compared to, and you had to cram 2 games into that small space, and I think they should have I think Sega should have just ported Evolution Worlds to the PS2, and keep all the dungeons and all the contents like that together. And Evolution was an underrated gem for the Dreamcast. Also, Climax Landers, aka Time Stalkers. Bring that over and remaster those and bring it over to the Switch. Power Stone, and yeah, also like Power Stone and a lot of other Dreamcast classics, putting over to the Switch. And I want to buy these games, all right? I want to like rely on, I want to own these games. This is what I have to say about Dreamcast and the Nintendo Switch. Well, the Switch is showing its age, and maybe Midas will just, wait till the successor comes out in the Switch. Yeah, and so yeah. I talked to all these, and yeah, I mean, I've released several videos before of what we want for the Switch. The main thing we want is backwards compatibility. I mean, don't take the games away and say, oh, you're going to take all the games away. Like backwards compatibility. Not only that, mitigate transfer all my purchases to the Switch 2. Much like Sony does it, Microsoft does it. It was backwards compatible with the PS4. The PS5 is backwards compatible with the PS4. The Xbox Series is backwards compatible with Xbox One. Nintendo, do it for the next console. We want VR support, that one too. But yeah, so this is my situation today. I call for the Nintendo Switch, the situation, the Dreamcast and the Switch, and for Nintendo time to make a new system. This is JD out, and lastly, Merry Orthodox Eastern Orthodox Christmas for those who are living in the East, Russia, China, for those who are celebrating it. Merry Christmas to them.